Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. By God. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Victoria Ayedelefa. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. For a returning subscriber, you know I love you, you know I appreciate you so much. Thank you for always coming back. Okay, if you are watching this video, help me to shout several hallelujah. Because if you know the person I have on this channel, you know that it took the special grace of God for me to have the honor and the pleasure and privilege
I don't know what you're talking
of having our auntie.
Why this is relevant to this conversation?
How is it not relevant?
Can you move on?
Let your face show in my vlog is the problem. So today you sit down and did this sit down video. I need to testify to the glory of the Lord.
Move on.
Excuse me, ma, please introduce yourself. For those who don't know.
Hi guys. Hi everyone, my name is Mercy. Nice to be here.
Anyway, so today I have Mercy on the channel and we want to talk about a very interesting topic. Okay, Mercy has been my friend for how many years now? Since 17. No, not 2017, 2018. Yeah. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 5 years. What to try? I've tried in your life.
I've put up with you for a long time.
So have I, my sister.
Start getting salary now.
Even me, I should be collecting pension by this period.
Alright, Mr. Idyllic.
It's Mr. Idyllic. Anyways.
Stop feeling.
So today we want to talk about relationship. We want to talk about singlehood, singleness, or single life. Okay, I think Mercy is one of my. She's actually the most contented single person I know in my life. And that's the fact. Like, and recently single, and that's why I said contented. Recently I've had people reaching out to me on my channel talking about, you know, I don't think relationship will happen for me, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I really want a relationship but it's not happening and stuff like that. And I think that it comes with, you know, our age, right? The point that we are in, right? Everyone feels like, oh my God, time is good. I remember when I got married, I don't think my mates were getting married that time because everyone was focused. Yes, I just finished school.
Too early. No, it wasn't too early.
It wasn't too early.
Kind of early, but it wasn't too early. It was just like kind of normal.
Yeah, like the normal
that's the time when everyone was supposed to, like, you know, be settling down. You finish school, you done like service, or you finishing service, and then
ideally
you're supposed to, like, be marrying your your university boyfriend, stuff like that. That's the vibe. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I feel like, at least in my own circle, I know I was the first person to get married, and it was a bit like awkward-ish, but at that time everyone was focused on, okay, we're finishing school, we're getting a degree, we are focusing on a career and building a career and stuff like that. Me in a marriage, I say I want to do, right? Not to say, and I think Jonathan said that you cannot do both hand in hand, because that's what I'm doing right now, right? So anyways, and I think that many of the people around me, right, we've now gotten to that stage where you're like, okay, now I really want to settle down. Now I really need companionship. I was saying it in the video I recorded earlier today that we are as humans, we are created for companion, right? Yeah. And even if you don't really want it, or so to speak, a time will come when your body will desire it, when your heart will desire it and all of that. But somehow you have been able to, like, be consistent in navigating this season, be happy, be content, be, you know, being who you really are. So I want you to educate us and help us. Maybe there's something that we are not getting, because I know that, yes, how have you been able to, like, by the way, Mercy is a twin, in case all of you don't know, even though
shout out to my twin. I also find time to watch this.
Oh God, I hope so too. I also too. I met her once, and I remember when I met her, I'm like, you cannot even see the relation. They don't even look like
fraternal twins. They are not identical.
Well. Anyways, all the twins I know, Mercy and her sister, they are like opposites. Anyways, she's married. She's married. She's
with kids.
With two beautiful kids.
Joys of my life.
Right.
I love those babies.
Yeah. And how then are you able to, like? Because sometimes you don't even have to be sisters. Even your friend getting married, it has a way of affecting you and stuff. So I've talked too much. You know where I'm going with this conversation.
Yeah.
How have you been able to, like, navigate that singlehood and being content?
So before I answer that question, I'm going to reframe the approach. I don't think this conversation is educate us kind of vibe conversation on how you doing it, because nobody's perfect. I don't feel like I've gotten to any point. I just
you are an educator.
When we first, this is not a classroom, man. When we first started talking about this, actually, it was us talking about like how to like live in the present, right? How to just find happiness and joy in the current whatever season you are in. And then we started talking about like specific things, and then this came up. So this is just going to be me sharing my experience, and of course I know there's sometimes good engagement on the videos, so like it's open to others to share their experience and what they think and stuff like that. So this is just me sharing my personal experience. And the first point I will make, and this is just going off the top of my head, we don't have notes or anything, the first point is I will make is just reframing your mindset. That's what I do, and it's a daily practice. It's not something that you do one day and then it changes the whole trajectory of your life. It's just constantly remembering that right now I'm living in answered prayers, right? And the prayers that I have right now, the prayers I'm praying, one day soon, even sometimes sooner than we expect, I'm going to be living in those answered prayers, right? So if I am so engrossed, in trying to get to that point that I just forget to have a nice time right here, I'm going to get to that point and then I would not even remember the process. To be like, what was I doing 2 years ago? And another thing, the second point that I'll move on as I move on from that is that when you actually get to that point, every season has its own challenges, right? And married people would tell us that that's the truth. Every season has its own challenges. So when you get to that next season, you would look back and be like, I miss a few things. Even if you don't miss the entire experience, there will be things that you miss. Maybe the freedom. We're talking about singleness. I'll miss the freedom. I can just get up today and just go anywhere, and she knows. Like I can just say today I'm going to. She's
going to the bush. She's going to climb mountain.
I'm going hiking. Or tomorrow I'm going spending the weekend. I'm just 3 states away, because I don't have like people that I have to consider in making those decisions right now, right? I live alone. I don't have my family here and anything. I'm not married. I don't have children. And when I get to the next season of my life, that would be no longer possible, which is a good thing, but it's something that I will miss. So because I want to live so fully right here where I am, so that when I get to that point, I'll feel a satisfaction that yes, I experienced all those things, been there, done that, got a t-shirt, and now I can fully live in the new season I'm in. So that's what I keep reminding myself on the days when discontent wants to come in, right? I remind myself that I'm going to miss this time, right? And I also have a very weird relationship with memories. I've mentioned this to a few close friends. I don't know how to really explain it. I'm the kind of person that I feel like I don't have happy memories. I don't think back and enjoy the fact that I just don't think back. It doesn't bring those kind of good happy feelings to me. It's just very neutral. When I think back and I look back, I see gray basically, right? So I know that if I don't live in the now and in the here, if I don't have a good time here and now, when I leave this season, I've lost it, right? Like there's no going back. So that's what I remind myself of, and it really, really works in keeping me grounded, and it just takes a constant reminder to myself to do that. And so I've never had any extended season of like really pining for something else. And to talk about practical tips for doing that is just to actually find things that make you happy. Be very intentional. That's what I do. I'm very intentional about doing the things that make me happy. I'm happy in nature. I like hiking. I've been trying to convert her for the past
I love nature. I just like looking at it from the comfort of my home.
So come on, let's go hiking.
What am I looking for in the bush?
Let's go to the park. Let's go, snowboarding. Let's go skiing, stuff like that. I enjoy those kind of things. So the thing you want to do is find the things that bring joy to your soul. They would at least be one thing, right? That you know that when I do this thing, I forget every other thing. I'm happy. When I finish this thing, I'm exhausted. So I find those things and I spend my days doing them that I don't even really have time to think about like what I'm supposedly missing.
No, but are you then saying that you don't think about those things, like you don't feel pressure from because it's one thing to pressure yourself, right? It's another thing to feel pressure from external. And I know that there is no way that in this stage that we are, in, and I know you have a way of putting people in check. If you say anything, she will tell you, don't say that again, don't bring it near me. I know that you have that.
I'm a gentle person though. The way she's representing me, I'm a very calm person. Just keep going.
Like I was saying, right, you have a way of calmly telling people to, stay on their lane calmly. Calmly. Anyway, so calmly.
I am not violent at all. I'm the least violent person
She really is not. But there has to be that pressure from families, from friends. Like, don't you feel there has to be like those moments when you feel like, I wish in this moment I had somebody?
I'll answer that question in two ways. It's not really a question. I would address that in two ways. First of all, I'm so blessed that my immediate family, my dad, my mom, they don't really pressure me. I know there are people from families where like your mom is asking you every day, Jolo mama kowale, stuff like that, and maybe for guys, when are you going to get married and have children, stuff like that. But my family doesn't really do that. Yes, my mom will play with me and be like, marriage low come by you for Yoruba speaking people. She'll be like, after this degree, it's marriage, that kind of thing.
No, but I'm looking for PhD. They don't know this girl.
When I told her I'm doing my PhD, she was like, hey, check out who she married. I was like, did you even see any man? But seriously, she just says that. I know she says it in a way that I know she's just, she's not putting strong pressure on me, and if it gets uncomfortable, I'm very quick to tell her, like, don't do that, right? And I'm very lucky and blessed in that way. Like, she listens to me. My dad is just like, no pressure at all. So like, I'm blessed in that way. And I also feel, I think we mentioned this also before, that yes, there can be external pressure, but a lot of times the things that we assume are pressure from the outside just kind of exacerbates or echoes the pressure that we already putting on ourselves from the inside, because we're already giving ourselves like this timeline, this mental societal, before 30 I should be married, or once I finish my undergrad, marriage is the next thing, stuff like that. So we already have this feeling. So even the most innocent, sometimes when I say innocent, I'm talking about Nigerian people, right? That those aunties that will be like, you go to this wedding and they'll be like, come and do this, stuff like that. Those kind of, most of the time they mean well, right? And then they say that kind of thing and then you feel sad because you're already like placing this expectation on yourself. When my twin sister got married, right, when we were preparing for that marriage, I already knew that as they are going all the prayers, all the Jonathan Jerai, all the bronco, which bro, the one you gave to me at the I have the palette background, so that's the language, like bronco, what's going on, that kind of thing. So I knew that would happen. So I already prepared myself mentally that, like, because when you know something is happening, it's not going to catch you unawares, right? And of course, when I didn't even have time to sit down once. I didn't even have time to look at anybody's face. As I was running from here, I was running there, and I was like all over the place. So, someone would say, pray for me, yes, my Shema, and then you move on. Because I already prepared my mind, and I wasn't ready to, like, I don't even feel any negative feelings from those things, right? I just automatically see them as, like, they are being friendly, they are just being, the aunties and the mommies. That's the way we've seen this over and over again. We grew up with this kind of thing, so it's normal. So I don't let it get to me. So I think just first of all, taking that pressure away from ourselves personally, so that when external pressure comes, we're able to just bounce it, right? That's one thing. And second thing is just knowing that everybody has seasons. Everybody has time, and God has been so good. I'm not typically a jealous person, or the emotion of envy is not something that I struggle with. And see, when I say stuff like this, I'm not even like shaming anyone that feels those feelings. Those are like sin problems. They are normal part of our human nature. If I don't struggle with that, there's something else I struggle with, right? Yeah. So if there's something, if you feel that it's valid, those feelings are valid, but you cannot just let yourself be held under the power of those feelings. Those are things, if you're a Christian, that you bring under the authority of the name of Jesus. You cast down imaginations, you acknowledge them. That this person is getting married and I feel bad, I feel jealous. You acknowledge it. If you have to cry, but then you cast down those imaginations and don't let them, like, just reign without any kind of limits over you. Just just speak back to those thoughts. And then the practical tips I have is find things that you enjoy and focus on that, right? So that's one thing with you know, feeling any kind of expectations and what do you call it, like pressure, right? And I am very quick, like she said, to if there's anyone, like if I see that it's beyond play, right? Someone that wants to start giving me unnecessary, you know, I'll say it in a very nice, polite way, but I will let you know. I'm very good with communication, and
she's good, very good in communication. She's a professor of communication. She's good at that. But you see that thing she said, she will say it kindly. She will not insult you. She will say it in a rude way.
It's not a bad thing to be
but blunt. She will say it in a way that in your life. In your life.
What have I ever said to you? People will be thinking something else. It's good to be blunt, people, right? Like, you just let people know where you stand. And so someone would not like.
I think it's a good thing. I wish I know how to do it.
What do you mean you don't know how to do it?
You know I don't know how to do it.
Just say, what makes sense, but personally, I don't like it. It's a very simple, straightforward.
I don't know how to do it. I feel like people will feel so. You know, I think that I'm learning a lot from you, right? I think that I'm learning how to be more direct with what I want and what I don't want.
Yeah, we need to ask.
Let me tell you guys, the reason why I don't used to joke with Messi in my YouTube video. one time, I will say it. One time I post Messi on my channel. Basic after church, we had a session in the car just for me to understand, and really I appreciate that, because you know I think you are actually the only friend I have that does not like camera. Like the other friends I have, they might not be a camera person, but when you bring it, they will smile, they will do whatever. But so when I became friends with her, I did not know how to establish that boundaries. You know, it was so funny that when you told me that I don't want it, I think you're like joking.
Which is what was so shocking. I was like, I very expressly and clearly told her that I don't want to be in this video.
Why in my head? I meant, it's just what people say.
And she published it, and she didn't even tell me. One day I just saw myself. I did, like, I was so, I don't know. See, that's one of the reasons why I actually started like a YouTube thing, because I was actually, this is an area of growth. I've been very, very private, like almost like
she's a ghost online, basically.
Like I'm not.
Now
I'm
she's trying.
Seriously. So it was.
Now I'm rubbing off on her.
Yeah.
Now.
But seriously, I was very private and I was very camera averse, such that like I couldn't. Throughout college, even after, maybe just the past 2 years is when I started really changing. Like I would not let anyone take my picture and have my picture on their phone. Like that's not it, and we all are different people, right? And that's one of the things I even think about when I have kids. Like I don't think I'll ever like actually put kids on camera. I don't know, that might change because things are changing, like when you know this evolving world and things are changing. And whereas we used to have like family albums, like now we have pictures, digital albums and stuff like that. But I know how it's a visceral feeling when I see a picture of myself that I didn't know existed.
You know, that's the day I learned the English word. You took away my agency. I can never forget that word, because I have to go and Google agency want to take away by the
calming down. People don't need all of these details.
I know that. You know, people know me, I don't know how to keep my mouth shut.
No, seriously. What I needed from her then was to show me that video before posting, so that I would know what's online. But I just, you know, I watched a channel and I just saw that video. I just saw myself inside in it, and I was like it was a shock, right? And so I was like,
oh, the copy sit up for
I didn't say that one. I didn't say
I'm saying this. That's the interpretation of the agency.
So like you need to let me be able to make a decision if I wanna be out there, right? And
that's what I was saying initially, that I learned, because before you, I've never had that issue with anyone. It's my husband that it tells me when he does not want to be on camera, I know he doesn't want to be and stuff. But I think it's different, because most times if he doesn't want to be, I can make him be, right? And if I put him there, nothing is going to happen, right? But for you, I had to learn boundaries. I had to learn how to like speak up and ask for what I want, right? That's why I'm saying that personally, I'm a person that I shy away from confronting people. I shy away from like telling people off.
Funny enough, but I don't consider myself confrontational. There's something I call, people say call people out, right? What I believe in is calling people in. And if you have a relationship with people, I feel like that relationship is so much more important than anything. And anything that can cause friction, if you really value them, then you should surface that, call them in and have a conversation about it.
But you see, my own theories, anything that will cause confrontation, just forget it.
That's very bad. That's very, very bad.
I know, but
because tension, there will be tension on that in the surface.
But for me, there won't be tension because I will just literally forget it. And then I'll just, but the day you do something else, then I'll remember.
Then that's not forgetting then. That's okay. But seriously, so I feel like it's a skill that everyone needs to cultivate, just being able to ask for what you need. And if you know that something is taking away your peace, then move. And all this that we're saying, I'm not a very old person, right? But I'm at that stage in my life where, like, you look around and all of your friends are married. They're having kids. People that are like younger than you are getting married and they have kids. People that are younger. You know how we kind of have this,
oh yeah.
This is my age group, and then the next
generation.
That's the next age group, and then the younger sisters of your friends and everyone, like, and then the third born and the fourth born,
their friends and even them they are.
So that's the kind of the stage where society kind of tells you at this point you should be married to. Like, my twin, like she said at the beginning, I have a twin, she's married, she has 2 babies, they are absolutely, they're angels. And it just kind of just begins to feel like you should be married, right? Or you should be getting close or stuff like that. And
I'm remembering the message your dad sent to you this night.
And it's funny though, it's not even pressure, it's just concern, right?
Like, I don't feel like maybe you are.
I posted something on my status and I was like, are you lonely?
Lonely.
He said, hey, just pray. That's just for another day. But what question was I answering?
I can't even remember.
That's where we talk. We like start from here, we end there. I think you're asking about, like, how do I handle pressure?
You gave 2 instances. You talked about how you handle pressure from other people, and then you're talking about timing and how everyone has their time. And I wanted to say something about that though, because timing, that's one thing, especially in the season of my life, which you are privy to. You've always had to, like, call me to order, like, every time I panic, right? That I'm afraid stuff like that is going to happen, but you always have this, like, calmness. I've called Mercy when I'm literally panicking whenever I want to get myself out of my head, because I get in my head a lot. Most times before I came to the US, that was my husband. Like, every time, because the virtual thing does not really do a lot for me. I need someone physically. So that was my husband for me. And that's why I always trouble her, because right in this US, she's my husband until my husband comes until he comes to resume his position. Oh, he even know. Even he used to say, where is that? Where is your guy? Where is your Oga madam? So that's just to tell you, like, whenever I need to get out of my head, she has this Zen thing where she comes and she talks me out of my head, right? And I feel like that's one of the things that you've actually attributed, which is very admirable, right? In this time when people would naturally, I know, Mercy, sometimes I share with you some of the things that people share with me, like, people literally, like, tired, feeling like giving up because I don't have a life partner. And sometimes I feel like, and that's why I had to call you, because on this channel to talk about it. And that's why I even though I knew we had a different conversation, I wanted you to talk about this, because sometimes I feel like when I say, or when I try to tell them be patient and stuff, they don't believe it, because for me, fast I'm married, like, I didn't have to wait to to do that. Maybe they cannot relate, but for you've always been that clear example to me that you can actually be single and content, right? And then you were talking about being kind and timing, right? And God's timing and all of that. And I love what you said about everyone has the same different time, right? I remember that was one of the first adage my mom ever gave to me when I was trying to, like, leave secondary school early, and she's like, everyone has different time. That was the first time I heard that adage, but it rang a bell in my head. And I think that's very important for everyone to know, like, everyone has a different timing in life. For some people, you will get married first, and if there's anything marriage has taught me, right, it's you know a lot of things about me, right? It's not about who first married. I'm telling you, there are a lot of people who got married after me, and there are a lot of things that that they have been able to get that I haven't. And there's some people that I got married after, I got married after, and the things that we have been able to achieve as a family, they have also not been able to achieve, right? So it's not necessarily about who first reached there. And it's not by who first reached there, that's not what's determined which marriage is going to last, right? So, and it's better. And one thing I'm seeing in you, or that I'm coming to understand in you, even though I will not stop praying every day that this marriage was happened this year.
This year. You know God.
This year. Latest May next year. Latest.
What God doesn't exist, JB.
Go and write it down. It's on this channel. Go and write it down. I'm coming back.
People, please ignore that part of the ignore that part of the conversation and let's come back.
Anyways,
draw it back in, pull it back in.
Don't ignore it, put it right in down, because from my mouth to God's ears. I think that what I'm seeing is like you trying to be, you know, your own person, right? Because I see a lot of people get into marriage and they've not even really known themselves. For me, I've always known who I was, and I think that was why God made marriage so quickly for me, because I feel like if He had come any later, I probably will not even get married, because
knew what you wanted.
Yeah, because I knew what I want. I've always, like, right from childhood, I've been talking about marriage, watching marriage seminars since I was like 11, 12. I always knew the kind of person that I wanted to end up with. God, like, God has revealed to me my husband, where he would stay and stuff like that when I was really young. So I kind of knew that marriage was going to come earlier for me.
Can you just hold that thought so I can say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't forget your thoughts. Seriously, that's really, really key. I remember also the fact that for a long time I just felt like I was not ready, and that's because we all have different paths in life, right? I had some things that just felt much more close to my heart, things I felt like I was called to pursue more, you know, intimately or more closely at those you know, seasons of my life. Right now I'm in a space where I feel like if marriage comes now, I'm ready. I remember I used to tell my two sisters then, even before she started getting prepared for marriage, I was like, would you fair marry? Are you ready like this? Honestly, like amazing man. There was no red flags or anything, but I was just like, you would become a wife. I am not ready, like, and that was because there were other things that I was more ready for at that point, right? So it's so important to really identify the patterns of your life, know who you are, know what you are called to pursue, because you will really truly find peace and rest and fulfillment in the things that you're pursuing if you're pursuing them according to God's plan and in the season where you should be pursuing them, right? And if I can't say because we don't have 360-degree view, right? But I feel like if I got married like 3, 4, 5 years ago, it would have been wrong timing for me, and I might have struggled because at that I was feeling very distinctly like I am not ready for this. I can't do this right now. I don't have the grace for this season. This is not what I'm called to right now.